You are listening to a special edition of the Purdue Report. Jake Dunn's reaction to Purdue's 97-79 win over Akron, only on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Welcome back to the Central Indiana Sports Report, Boilermaker fans, for a special edition of the Purdue Report. Jake Dunn's reaction to Purdue's 97-79 win over Akron. And Jake, there's not much more to say than that was really, really good.
I know we've only played a handful of games here so far, but it's probably the most complete game Purdue's had this year. Trey Kaufman-Renn, his performance has really been his performance and his availability really has been a revelation here for this team. Everything really clicked for Purdue this game: 3-point shooting, offensive rhythm, defensive pressure. They just really dominated the boards again, and hopefully that's a trend that's going to keep up throughout the rest of the season.
Jake, I don't know if people look at the score and say Purdue 97, Akron 79. You beat a MAC team. That's a team that's expected to dominate the MAC and be not just an NCAA tournament and, a team that's potential to win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. That's how good they're supposed to be. Maybe the top mid-major in the country. And it was competitive early, but it was all Purdue for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. To your point, Akron's a very, very good team. Right now, right after this game, they were ranked 79th on KenPom. So a lot of these other teams above, obviously power conference teams. So yeah, they're certainly one of the top mid majors in the country, and should be. They shoot the ball pretty well. They're fast. They like to run, kind of like Alabama. They like to really run with a lot of pace, and Purdue is really able to slow them down. So I think Purdue, if you kind of wrap in Thursday to this weekend, Purdue's really kind of showed why they deserve to be number one again.
Yeah, silly that they weren't in the first place. I still don't understand how anyone paying attention could rank Purdue outside of the top 5, but that clearly happened by multiple people. Just dumb.
Yeah, for sure. And we should also note Matt Painter, his 500th career victory and in his 22nd season as head coach. So
we should definitely note that, Jake.
Yeah, major
deal. Jake, back-to-back coaches with over 500 wins is pretty amazing. The job that Matt Painter's done, taking the Purdue program that was really good and actually elevating it. Congratulations to him for his 500th win, and there are plenty more ahead.
Certainly hope so. Hope Matt Painter is the head coach of Purdue for another 20 years.
All right, Jake, let's look at the box score. The big three for Purdue had 51 of the 97 points. Trey Kaufman-Renn leading the way with 17 points, 15 rebounds, 8 of those on the offensive end, 7 of 10 from the field. What a night for him. Edit. Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer both had 16 points. Fletcher Lawyer's 3 for 6 from 3. Braden Smith, 10 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals in 27 minutes. And Oscar Clough also had 14 points and 14 rebounds. Oscar Mayer, who looked incredible, 14 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. So it was good all around.
Trey Kaufman-Renn and Oscar Clough, if you kind of combine their stats, 31 points, 29 rebounds. So that's an insane combination of stats there from your front court. Akron finished the game with 26 total rebounds. Trey Kaufman-Renn and Oscar Clough out-rebounded Akron's whole team. So that should highlight, kind of how dominant Purdue was on the glass this game. And hopefully it's something that'll keep up here as the season progresses. But sticking with the front court there, Purdue really controlled the paint. They had 46 points inside, and in the second half, they scored 18 of their first 22 second half points at the rim. So really dominant performance from TKR and Oscar Clough. And to your point, I thought Omer Meyer had a really good performance. He's kind of had a coming out weekend, if you will.
Yeah.
Take what he did in the Alabama game and combine it with this. I thought he's looked really good this weekend, and he's got a little bit of Braden Smith in him, I would say, with kind of the stat line he put up, some of the passes he was making. So I think you can definitely tell that Braden Smith is spending time with him and trying to kind of mentor him, and definitely looking alike, which is good considering how good Braden Smith is.
Very similar style player. They seem to work pretty well together at the same time too. Mayer I think he's more of a traditional point guard, but he sure can score that basketball just like Braden Smith.
And on the defensive end, we talked earlier, Akron likes to run and score a lot of points. Akron came in averaging 99 points a game. They're a good team that likes to score the ball and play fast and push the tempo. To your point, Greg, Akron stayed in it pretty early, but Purdue's depth and physicality really just overwhelmed them. We saw a little bit in the Alabama game that Purdue's depth and size and physicality started to wear on Alabama, and I think that helped in that game, and obviously helped kind of widen that gap there in this game tonight. So Purdue held Akron just to 1.113 points per possession. Akron averaged 20 plus more points in previous games. So Purdue was really able to hold Akron down and slow down the game, and did really well on the defensive end. I believe they finished with 6 blocks. Dano Jacobson had 4, CJ Cox had 1, and TKR had 1. So 6 blocks from a team that didn't have very many blocks last year. It's nice to see here in these first handful of games that averaging a few blocks a game. Definitely nice to see. And on the offensive side, Purdue was very efficient. Purdue averaged 1.426 points per possession. Purdue scored on 64.7% of their trips and 25 points from the bench. So even when Braden Smith and TKR, Fletcher Loyer, whenever they went to the bench, the guys off the bench were able to really keep up the momentum and keep things going well when the starters went out.
If there's anything, and it's very, very picky of us to pick apart from what didn't go well, Akron shot 39% from the 3-point line. I think that's mostly a product of they're a good team. But also, Akron had 12 offensive rebounds, and for some reason, Purdue is really good on the offensive glass, but all year they give up a lot on the defensive glass.
I'd say cutting down on those offensive rebounds for Akron, and as well as turning the ball over. Purdue had 13 turnovers. Omer Meyer had 3, Braden Smith had 3, and then a few other players had 1 turnover, but not a lot to pick on here. To your point, Alabama shot fairly well from 3. Akron shot well from 3 here tonight. So if there's ever a night where Purdue's not hitting their shots and they're not getting things to fall, their offensive looks aren't not getting good looks on offense. If you're not hitting your shots and the other team's hitting a lot of their shots, not going to bode well for Purdue. So they've got the experience and leadership to hopefully overcome that. Would like to see a little better defense from the perimeter.
And now they move on to the Bahamas, where they will take on Memphis at 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, and then they'll play on Friday. I believe it's also at 6 o'clock, Jake, no matter what. Texas Tech or Wake Forest. Is that correct?
6 o'clock on Thursday the 20th, 7 o'clock on 21st.
No matter who the opponent is, apparently, it'll be Texas Tech, most likely, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Wake
I
Forest,
think...
you're down there in Wake Forest territory. Any hope for them this year?
Miles Colvin, I saw a highlight from him earlier. He had a beyond half court shot to end the first half for Wake Forest tonight. He had a pretty nasty poster on Michigan earlier this week, so he's looked pretty good in in the minutes that he's gotten at Wake Forest. But Wake Forest, they're not necessarily good in basketball and not necessarily good in football either. So I guess we'll see.
Not since the days of Randolph Childress and Tim Duncan. I don't think Wake Forest has been pretty good. I hope that program gets revived. When I was in the Marines and I was stationed down there, Wake Forest was really good to us, and I enjoyed watching them win the ACC championship over North Carolina with Vince Carter and Rasheed Wallace. So that was a great memory of mine from the days down there in Carolina.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I guess sticking with the ACC, Notre Dame is in the ACC conference in basketball, and they basically took Ohio State to the buzzer. I saw seemed like they've improved, and it'll be hopefully a little better this year as well.
Of course, the great Micah Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
I think he'll do a fine job there up at Notre Dame.
I hope so. And speaking of Memphis, I know I said Akron was 79th in KenPom. Memphis is 76.
I think all of those teams are pretty similar to Akron, would be my guess.
Yeah. So Wake Forest, they are 52nd in KenPom, so a little bit better than Memphis and Akron. Texas Tech is really good. They are 16th in KenPom. So
Texas Tech has been one of the best programs in the country the last decade.
I watched a little bit of their game against Illinois. Illinois, frankly, didn't look very good in that game. Texas Tech looked all right, so should be a good game, assuming Purdue gets past Memphis, which all signs point to them being able to. Assuming they get past Memphis, most likely we'll be playing Texas Tech for the championship.
And still on the non-conference schedule, have Eastern Illinois on Friday, and then Iowa State on December 6th. Then after the Iowa State game on the 6th, Minnesota home, you play Marquette, you play Auburn, so it's just getting heated up, Jake, and you and I will be here for all of it.
Lucky I get the opportunity to be at the Eastern Illinois game on Friday, November 28th. So be cool to be in Mackey once again, and hopefully that day Purdue will be going 1-1. Hopefully winning in basketball, and probably gonna lose to IU in the bucket game, but I should go 2-0, but I don't think there's really much of a chance that'll happen.
Safe travels back to the Holy Land.
Appreciate it. Looking forward to being back as always, and looking forward to hopefully Barry Odom and co keeping it close with IU, but not getting my hopes up.
Jake and I might be able to do some Purdue reports face-to-face finally. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much for your time, Jake. Appreciate it as always, and we will talk very soon.
Yeah, thank you. Boiler up.
And thank you for listening. Please join Jake and myself on Wednesday for the Purdue Report. We will talk some more Purdue basketball and look ahead more to the Bahamas, Memphis, Texas Tech, and Wake Forest, and then talk a little bucket, but we have all that coming up next week. Speaking of which, join us next week when Jake will join our IU guys, Grant Schaus and Mike Hutzel, to preview what's going to be just a thrilling bucket game.
Yeah.
And do us a huge favor, share this podcast with a Purdue fan in your life and help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Thanks again, Jake.
Yeah, thank you. Boiler up. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. I love you, Susie.